guys, we're back for another Dokkan battle video. Today, we are going to go ahead and no-item the entire movie side of the red zone with the Resurrection F Blue, Goku, and Vegeta. When this unit's details were revealed, a lot of people were very, lukewarm on this character. Like, they weren't really too impressed, but I do feel like the Goku and Vegeta, they do very well over here on the movie side of things. Now, I guess real quick, for their team specifically, they have access to probably the single best character for the movie side of the red zone, which is right here on rotation, Tech Easy A God Goku. He is just incapable of taking damage. Only really, I don't know, he's taken a lot of damage from, Int Bojack. He's done 100k to that God Goku before, but, that's pretty much it. God Goku just mops up pretty much all damage in this side of the red zone. So we do have access to him. And then just generally, the team meshes very well for the movie side of things. Except for the fact that EGLUI Goku, of course, is easily one of the best characters on the team, and I mean, in the game still. But there's two stages here on the movie side that cancel dodging. So, of course, we're not going to use UI Goku there. This opening fight is definitely a warm-up. Turles is not really what I would consider a tough fight at all. There's not really too much in the way of gimmicks or anything. He can stun you, but, I mean, this is... I mean, he's probably a little bit stronger than, a God of Destruction boss, but, that's basically it. The Turles is just a warm-up fight, right? Not really too much going on here. A lot of the characters we're using should be fairly obvious why as well, right? Oh, one other thing with this challenge, too, that was tough is finding good ROF Blue Goku and Vegeta friends was not easy. Definitely not easy to find good versions of them, for sure. Alright guys, now we are over here fighting Lord Slug. Again, Lord Slug I would consider just one of these warm-up fights, not really too tough whatsoever. One thing that can be a bit of an issue on the movie side, right, is while we do have access to God Goku, remember that a lot of these opening fights against all of the minions, God Goku is not with his damage reduction, and he can be touched up quite hard, right? Against Bojack's minions, Lord Slug's minions here, androids 14 and 15, right? You know, even Cooler's Armored Squadron. A lot of these characters are able to piece you up if you are not very cautious. So that's a very important thing to keep in mind, right? Like, kind of like you want to settle in, get through the first like phases right here against the multiple enemies quickly, and then God Goku can sort of like, you know, just be absolutely dominant, you know, just completely tanking the entire way through. Lord Slug's really not too tough. You know, even by the time we get to his final phase, he's STR, right? There's just so many options for characters that can destroy this guy, right? We have EZA Evolution Blue Vegeta, who, you know, as of right now, I would say is definitely my pick for best EZA T-War. He's just way too good. I mean, you guys will see, I use this Blue Vegeta up and down these teams for these two Red Zone stages. Like, that EZA Evolution Blue Vegeta is so good. And, I mean, what a shock, right, that, you know, he gets up like a perfect team for him, because this is a team where we're using all of these, you know, Super Saiyan Blue, Super Saiyan God characters, UI Gokus and stuff like that, and Vegeta completely works well, Evolution Blue Vegeta. He's a great unit, just as like sort of like a floating option to me. Like, on these teams, he just tends to work so good. So, here is the Lord Slug fight, nothing really too crazy to talk about here. Let's move on to the next fight. Alright guys, now we are going to go against Cooler. I actually did manage to find a rainbow friend, which was very helpful. I actually did have a little bit of difficulty with Cooler. I kept just getting like very bad openers, right? Remember again, God Goku is capable of taking a lot of damage in this opening phase right here. And then remember that physical final form Cooler at the end is very powerful. The ROF Blue Goku and Vegeta, for the most part, they're able to handle their own throughout most of the Red Zone. I mean, the bigger bosses, you know, Super 17, Broly, Omega, right, Janemba, they will shred the Blue Vegeta on a super attack. But Blue Vegeta is able to handle normal attacks just fine, right? Blue Vegeta is, with 3 Rainbow Key Spheres. So that does allow us to, you know, do a lot of these rather easily. But this is one of the fights where the final phase is type disadvantage for us, right? So like that Cooler also is a really tough boss in the Red Zone. The 3rd and 4th stages, I mean, well, I think Cooler is a much harder fight than Android 13. Like, it's not even close, right? And then, of course, the GT side of things has Rildo and Baby, which are even harder. But this Cooler fight is definitely not free. Cooler is very powerful. Remember that Cooler does have a countdown super attack, though, in his final phase. That does make it, you know, sort of easy to sort of play around there. Because we have multiple characters who we could put in front of the super attack and you know, count on them. STR UI Goku, AGL UI Goku, Tech God Goku, all of them could go in front of Cooler's super attack. Potentially, depending upon the situation, we could even put the LR Gods in front of it. You know, if they're in blue, we could have them, like, you know, nullify it, which, you know, could be very good. What else is there to talk about with Cooler? I don't know that there's really too much. Just, I mean, I will say it. A lot of people talk as though, like, the UI Gokus suck, and it's like, I've never understood it, right? Like, 70% chance to dodge is very strong, you know? Like, it's very good, right? Even against these crazy bosses. Well, I mean, when we get turns like this, yeah, what a shock that we beat this. Look at this turn. Like, look how free that is, right? Like, Cooler is just like, I'll just attack, like, you know, everywhere on the front spot. Keep in mind, too, that if UI Goku does take a couple of hits, you know, remember, we potentially could revive as well in the future. Remember that for the no-item run for Omega Shenron with the Resurrection F Blue team, remember that we did use UI Goku's revive essentially to survive Omega's super attack at the end, right? So that works out rather well. So, okay. You know, we just sort of, you know, kind of maneuver the blue Resurrection F Blue Goku and Vegeta accordingly. Make sure that Cooler's not able to bully them too much. You know, hope that the UI Gokus get their dodges off and stuff like that. And then, you know, we are able to defeat Cooler. So let's go ahead and move on to the next fight for the commentary. now we are fighting Android 13. Android 13, just quite honestly, is a very underwhelming fight. I really think that they messed up. This fight could have been much tougher. All they had to do was make the second phase of Android 13 int instead, and this becomes a much more difficult fight. But I mean, the red zone stages, they don't start trying to like color counter you until like the end, right? That's when they're like these stages are actually trying to like, you know, correctly like, you know, put the typings of each boss to where they're sort of able to counter you. But in here, you know, 14 and 15 can tear up God Goku. You know, we have to be very, very cautious about that. 14 and 15, I believe they're immune to a lot of status effects too, right? I believe we can't seal them. Oh, that's it. You only can't seal them. Okay, you could attack, debuff them, and stun them, though. You just can't seal them. Okay, but sealing, of course, is what we've got with God Goku, right? So, God Goku will, you know, we just have to be careful with him in these opening phases. What's funny is, because Android 13 in both, you know, his normal, you know, Trucker Hat version, as well as Fusion Android 13, both of them are just AGL. I actually did bring the Tech Super Saiyan Gohan from the World Tournament, but the way things played out, I think he actually doesn't even get a super attack off in the entire run, right? Because of Ki. Ki can be an issue for that Gohan. That is his weakness, right? Because he does not have prepared for battle. And, you know, we're not running a team of, like, Golden Warrior characters. But, I mean, really, just the tech unit to where, like, we can't get killed if 13 supers him is all we really needed. And that's sort of what we get going on. The fact that our best character is the LR Gods, which is a tech unit, basically means Android 13 has no chance, right? Like this was a easy one try right here. Because honestly, like if I had lost on this, I probably would not have put the Tech Gohan on the team again, right? Because I'm already rocking double Golden Frieza. But I mean, Tech Gohan, like we got it done. Tech Gohan, I don't think he supers. He does eat a super attack from Fusion Android 13 too, the Tech Gohan, but he does good, right? Because he has damage reduction against one enemy, so that allows him to work very effectively. So, okay. There's the Android 13 fight. Not too much to talk about here. This is probably, to me, this is the most, like, disappointing fight in the entire red zone. I think that they really fumbled with this guy. You know, he cancels dodge. You can't dodge him. You know, of course, that's tough to get around, but the fact that he goes AGL into AGL means you just load up on a full tech team and he can't really do anything to you. Alright, guys. Here we go. Dude. So I did, first I did this challenge with the Ginyu Force, right? I swept the GT side of things very fast. Bojack actually took me maybe 10 tries with the Ginyu Force team. I'm not exaggerating. Bojack, dude, the layout of this fight is insane. This is such a sneak attack fight. But, even with the Ginyu team, it took me like 10 tries to no-item this. Then the Cell team, I now think I just got super lucky. I think I beat Bojack on my first try with the Cell team, but I think that was just luck, right? Just like very, very good RNG at the start. Because, remember, Cell is AGL. Bojack, if he touches Cell, we're in big trouble. And then with the Goku and Gohan team, I had more trouble getting Bojack no-items than any other fight of the Red Zone. Omega and Broly went down pretty free to the Goku and Gohan team, but this Bojack fight gave me so much problems. Yet again, with the Resurrection F Blues, this is the last fight I got done. Omega was not that tough. Broly I got done within a few tries as well. Bojack is just, it's a nightmare. It's a hell fight. Because you start out against these four right here. They hit hard, man. Like, if they just decide to like, double super multiple turns in a row, like, it's very tough. Unless you get very good luck. Remember that God Goku cannot tank in this phase. He will get incinerated if he gets super attack. He is able to seal, which is very helpful, right? But it's like things can just go south so quickly. Now, remember, too, team building is incredibly important in the Bojack fight because of the fact that Bojack locks and seals 100% of the time, right? Many other bosses in the game's history have locked and sealed and stuff like that. Bojack, literally, it's 100% of the time. He always locks and seals. So you have to be very cautious in bringing AGL units to this fight. Only particular AGL units, AGL Cell is just so dominant, right? And he's the leader of the team. He gets away with it. UI Goku, 70% chance to dodge. We can get away with it with him. AGL Golden Frieza, 90% damage reduction. Although, the thing is that oftentimes I was getting torn up in this phase. These guys were shitting on me. So I was nervous because AGL Golden Frieza, I'd get to Bojack, and then he doesn't have his passive up, and we lost, right? But my AGL Golden Frieza does have a full dodge build on him, just in case, right? Because his role is defense and tanking. I have won events off of losing my passive with him being under 40% HP, and then getting dodges with him to win events. Like, I have done that before, so I do like the full dodge build on him. Now, Blue Goku and Vegeta, they will work well against Tech Bojack. But the reason, I don't know what it is. This dude bullies. Listen to me. If you guys remember, when I was going for the no item on this with Goku and Gohan's team, I was running Namek Goku, of course. Namek Goku is definitely one of the best int units in the game. There's no denying that. And, Bojack is the strongest tech enemy in the game. But this Bojack, I don't know what it is. Every turn, he supers the third slot, it seems like. I can't. I actually have, 25 runs between, all these teams where Bojack, look, he does it again right there. If we didn't have the GOAT, UI Goku there, so many runs, that was Blue Vegeta. This, Resurrection F Blue Vegeta in that slot, and Bojack just wipes us away. Because Bojack hits so goddamn hard. It's like, this fight is just insane. I don't know what it is. I can't explain it, right? From his minions who are, absurdly strong, they just seem to do so much damage so fast. But then into this phase, and then you get into the hell of lock and seal every single turn. What's funny with this no-item run, as you guys are going to see, we win this run at one point. We have 1,500 HP at one point, right? And then we get the Dokkan attack with Resurrection F Blue Vegeta, and he full heals us. This fight, I don't know, man. And, you know, going through here, you've got to be greedy with the gods. Remember that the gods, right? They stack attack and defense every single super attack that they do before you transform. So I try and be just like greedy as much as possible, right? Also, in UI Goku, listen to this. He sucks. He is so bad until he transforms. He is so good once he transforms. And he could be so good in this fight against Bojack, right? First turn, 100% chance to dodge. Then he's got 70% chance to dodge while still stacking. But when he's in UI Sign, he is so bad. He is such a danger. Characters that, like, are struggling to get to, like, 300k defense are, like, a nightmare in here, right? Like, this UI Goku, if you notice, in this run, I don't think we ever transform with him in this run, but I got turns of, oh my god, like the 5, that was the 5 dodge. Should I just give in UI Goku a full dodge build? I feel like I should. Yeah. Dude, I'm going to change in UI Goku to full dodge, like SCR UI and AGL UI, because if I'm using him in UI Goku, to me, I feel like I'm only using him in this type of stage, right? In UI Goku, quickly, I am thinking of him in a similar fashion as I think of in Evolution Blue Vegeta, where it's like I'm sort of like restricting them to, like, you know, okay, we're fighting a tough tech boss, now I'll dust them off. Also, by the way, this Bojack supers literally every turn. He gives you no reprieve whatsoever. He just blasts your asshole inside out. So we get it done. We're able to just barely, like, manage to survive him. Y'all will see, you know, how tight the fight becomes. I believe we do actually hit the finishing blow with Gogeta Blue, so it's a very stylish finish. Here this guy goes with the locking and the ceiling and all the nonsense, right? Let me know what you guys think. Again, Bojack. This is 2 challenges in a row. The Goku and Gohan team, and now the Resurrection F team, where Bojack was the toughest fight for me to get done. I can't explain it, right? Like, AoE, like, Broly is so easy. Why is Broly tough? He's got an AoE phase. He has 1.2 million damage super attacks where he double supers every turn. You can't dodge him. Like, you could... It's so obvious. Like, it's so crystal clear why Broly is so hard. Bojack? It's just like, you gotta do this fight a lot before you understand how tough this dude is. This piece of shit, Bojack. I hate Bojack, dude. I hate him. guys, now we are on to the next fight. This is against Janemba. Now, Janemba's pretty tricky, honestly. One reason this is going to be a little bit tougher with this team is remember that the Resurrection F Blues are int. Janemba's strongest phase is physical. The thing about this fight, though, is that Janemba only has 2 health bars. So we can very rapidly turn Janemba inside out, right? Especially because we do have one of the 7th anniversary LRs on our team, the best units in the game by a huge margin. So, you know, if, like, we get to, you know, the physical Janemba or the int Janemba, and, like, we get the Gogeta Blue active skill off, and then, like, they go to town with, like, a triple crit turn along with their active skill, they could take off at least half of Super Janemba's health bar in one turn by themselves, and then we're in a really good position. Now, at the start, Janemba is tech. This is what I was talking about where, you know, the bosses towards the end, they start having much better type coverage. Because Janemba starts out as tech, so we want int units to counter that. But then he ends as physical, so then the int units are in trouble, right? These later Red Zone bosses have these, like, sort of designs. Now, depending upon how things go, remember that Blue Goku specifically in the first couple of turns can do just ungodly amounts of damage, right? Like, a good triple super turn from that Blue Goku, and he can do a lot of work to Janemba, and then just quickly sort of dissect Janemba. Remember that this is another stage where UI Goku potentially could revive for us if things got really bad. Of course, seemingly for like the first time ever, it's like I'm under that 77% HP threshold for Super Saiyan 3 Goku to transform, but it's only goddamn turn 2. Of course, man. I am the only person who struggles to transform with that Super Saiyan 3 Goku, but I do. So often in these videos, I feel like he's just chilling in Super Saiyan 2. Again, that this is another character who's in many of these like Red Zone no item runs. Super Saiyan 3 Goku, even though there's a lot of the community that thinks he's the best TUR, which I heavily disagree, I do not think that that character is overrated. He is too good. I think physical Super Saiyan 3 Goku is too good to consider him overrated, no matter what, because he's just actually that good, right? But we are able to sort of get it off. You know, Janemba, anytime these bosses are Super and God Goku, we're in a pretty good spot. Also, keep in mind that this fight right here, unlike, you know, the fight against Bojack, the fight against Android 13, Cooler, all of the previous bosses up to this point, the first phase, God Goku did not have his damage reduction up, but Janemba and Broly, it's just, you know, those are the only characters we fight in their fights. So, we do actually have, whatchamacallit, God Goku's, like, full damage reduction passive the whole time. From here, it's just try and blitz Janemba before he kills us, right? Janemba doesn't really do anything particularly crazy. He just changes the field of orbs, and then he can dodge, and he hits really hard, right? But he doesn't have any insanely annoying gimmicks like Super 17 does, or Bojack, or, you know, Broly and Omega. They've got the real nasty stuff. That's the thing about Janemba. Like, of the last 6 fights, so 3 on each, the GT side and the movie side, Janemba is the only one without crazy gimmicks. Because even the Shadow Dragons, you know, the 6th Shadow Dragon fight ends with Ice Shenron locking at the end of it, right? A 20-minute fight that he locks at the end of it. Whereas, like, Janemba is just, like, a tough boss, right? Like, Janemba is you know, he's, like, not the Clown God of Destruction Belmod. Like, he, you know, he did a lot. Like, he could lock and seal and do all that nonsense. But a lot of the other God of Destructions, like, you know, a lot of them were just, like, strong. Like, Janemba is just, like, you know, like, the toughest God of Destruction boss in history, right? But Janemba feels just like one of those, just, like, way stronger, right? So we are able to piece up Janemba, right? We get our dodges with UI Goku. Janemba decides to super attack, you know, the correct characters. We actually get Super Saiyan 3 Goku out. Oh, thank God, man. Oh, this is a good turn. Do we? Well, Janemba's not below 50% HP, so we can't use Gogeta Blue's active skill here. And we're not below 50% HP either. Oh my God, if we were, and we could just like completely incinerate this guy. But yeah, Janemba really not too tough. Just, you know, hopefully Janemba doesn't like super attack like where the blue Vegetas are gonna be, right? The int blue Vegeta. And then, you know, we should be fine sort of handling the Janemba fight. So let me know what you guys think. We'll move on to the Broly fight now. Guys, so we're moving on to the toughest fight in the game against Dragon Ball Super Broly. Very deserving, by the way. I like that Broly being the hardest fight in the game. That harkens back to Broly being the original toughest fight in the game. The very first Dokkan event back in the day was very tough to beat, right? You know, now, currently, in modern day, we have Dragon Ball Super Broly, who is the hardest fight. No surprise, like, typically, these Broly fights, right? Even though AGL Broly is probably the most annoying, I don't know what the word I want to use, but like AGL Broly is probably the most threatening like boss in the game, the most threatening phase in the game, sort of. Well, let me finish my thought, but like, because he's 1.2 million damage on his super attacks, and then he often does 2 of them per turn. But what makes this fight a true nightmare to no item is the AoE phase. Him, you know, you're unable to dodge this guy, and then he has an AoE super attack phase. It just, dude, it just becomes a nightmare, because it's like, getting through his AoE phase, you know, we could tank it. I try and set it up to where we get, you know, basically my strat, like what I want to do, is I would want to get to AoE Broly with a Golden Frieza, God Goku, and Golden Frieza rotation, right? So, like, Broly gets the super attack out of his system. He does no damage to that rotation. And then hopefully then the next rotation, we'd have all our heavy hitters, and then he would not be super attacking. That was kind of the intention. Like, if you guys see, I was, like, sort of trying to set that up. This actually would work well, though. We would live, if Broly supered a rotation of Golden Frieza, God Goku, and then the Evolution Blue Vegeta, we also would survive. By the way, again, that Evolution Blue Vegeta is very good, man. He does a lot of damage. His defense is very good once he transforms into Evolution Blue, to the point we're able to use him to no-item the hardest fight in the game, right? This is another reason why, you know, Angel Golden Frieza is disappointing to me, because look how good Evolution Blue Vegeta is. S-tier Ultimate Gohan could do this as well. If Turles had a mega top tier, you know, like big bad bosses, movie bosses to pair with, Turles, I feel like, could be as effective in these red zone fights too. But Angel Golden Frieza is not on that level. That's why he's such a bummer, right? So for the most part, right, this fight is just like doing the first two phases while just like praying. Like, once we get to the AoE phase, just please, like, give me a chance, right? Bringing double Golden Frieza, it might seem like stupid. Like, like, this is the type of team where, like, I could see someone like screenshotting this team and then tweeting it to me in 5 months and saying, like, look how bad your team building is. But it's like, you know, there's kind of a reason for it. It's how ridiculous this guy is, right? Like, the AoEs. The thing about Tech Golden Frieza, right? Tech Golden Frieza, with his damage reduction up, he could still tank very good. But once you fall below that 50% HP threshold, bruh, he starts taking a lot of damage. But there's an added bonus in this fight, and that's that the final phase is AGL. So, okay, this is so good that he transforms. If he didn't transform so early, we probably don't get this done, honestly. So, yes, we could survive a super attack from Broly on this turn. No doubt about that, right? Because if Broly supers, Vegeta probably would take about 300k or something like that, I assume. But it would not be enough to outright kill us. Does he super on this turn? I actually can't remember. It's been a few days since I got the snow item run done. Again, Bojack was the one that gave me the most trouble. Dude, don't talk to me. All right, man, talk to Bojack. I don't know. The Bojack fight is just ridiculous. Oh wow, does he just not super on this turn? Okay, is this one of the no item runs where I get through without him even supering? Let me see. Oh man, Vegeta with multiple super attacks, we would take nothing if Broly supered now. He didn't super. Wow, and then we finish him right here. Okay, so Broly. So this run, the first turn Broly did not super attack, and then the second turn Broly is gonna super attack at the end. Broly, I promise you, Broly is super attacking at the end, but we got just super lucky in that he put most of his attacks at the end, and that's where the super attack is. The LR Gods and then Blue Vegeta do enough damage to finish Broly off right here. Yeah. Okay. So that's one way to get through AoE Broly. You just, you know, if he goes the first turn without super attacking and then he super attacks at the end of the second turn, I mean, yeah, you know, we got a pretty good shot at that point. Okay. Yeah, I wish when I would do my Ginyu Force runs, I could get this RNG, but jeez. So then we make it to this guy again. This is like, it's just devastating because it's like, look at this turn right here. Evolution Blue Vegeta is very good. I think this ROF Blue Vegeta also very good. But no matter, like, you have to be a special character to be able to survive this guy's super attack. It's just as simple. You have to be actually like I don't even want to use the word like elite or a top unit or anything like that. You just have to be a certain type of unit to be able to eat this guy's super attacks. That's just how it goes. He just hits so goddamn hard. We are lucky though. We're able to make it through this fight without Broly catching a random character, right? Like, that's kind of the secret to beating this guy, is just pray that he doesn't toss one of these random super attacks on one of these characters. And then look at this dude. That Blue Vegeta, man, he is really good. I like this. Yeah, and then we get turns like this. Beautiful. So, like, there's nothing, like, we can't take, I love this turn so much. basically, we can't take damage on this turn. This is how you beat Broly right here. Yeah, cocksucker, what's up now, man? Because if he supers the blues, I don't know how much damage they take. Maybe 100k or potentially even less. Because remember, they'll get 100% on super attack, and then they get 50% on their 12 key. And then if they get a third super attack, that's another 50% defense, right? On top of having type advantage against this guy. So we could easily sort of dissect him with that. And then, you know, we do still have the Gogeta Blue active skill in our back pocket. So it's kind of one of these things where it's like, you know, if we make it through this next turn, we probably will beat him. And then you never know, we might have nullified a super attack right there. Unless, does he super right here? He does. Okay. Dude, that's so cheap. You can't survive, like, turns like that. He does 1.2 million damage on a super attack. He supered the first slot and the third. Do you know how cheap that is? That's so ridiculous. Like, what are you supposed to do against that? Like, oh my god. We had a double golden Frieza rotation, which is why we made it through. How nonsense is this Broly fight? Again, you need, like, as a super class unit, you need, like, 1.3 million defense to double-digit tank this guy like type neutral or some shit, man. Like, what were they thinking with this Broly fight? It's just so ridiculous. Alright, man. There we go. We got the challenge done with the Resurrection F Blues. There were some people saying I wasn't going to be able to do this because they didn't like this character, but, I mean, they didn't use their eyeballs, I guess. This Vegeta's good. I mean, double-digit damage from Broly. That's as long as he can do at least that, we can get the no-item run done, right? So, let me know what you guys think. I'm going to try and work on Majin Vegeta, Raditz, and I am going to put up one of these type of videos for the Super Saiyan 4s as well as the LR Gods as well. So, let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.